Hey guys and or gals, or whatever you want to identify as, I don't really care. You all know that I like to start off my videos with a bit of good news, and this one's a real slam dunk. You know, a perfect turd in the bottom of a toilet bowl. I'm not going to be able to record this Legend release overview. Now I know you may be thinking, Dominic, why would you even consider acting as if I care? I know. Hold back your questions and don't give me those tears. I know you all love the quality content that I upload on a weekly basis, and how dedicated I am to my schedule. But unfortunately, I have some important events to attend this Wednesday. Wait, that's supposed to be today, isn't it? Huh. And I won't be back until late Wednesday night, at which point I'll probably be chugging a bottle of NyQuil just so I can try to maintain a steady heart rate and slowly cry myself to sleep. But today you get a little bit of a treat. See my friend. He told me if I wanted to do this, I had to be his friend. We'll be doing the Legend overview on the very special Fourdex. I know he doesn't have the professional editing and recording software that I use like Windows Movie Maker and unregistered Hypercam 2, but I imagine he'll do the job well enough for the video to be put out, otherwise I'm going to have a serious talk with his manager. That being said, please just sit through the video for a few minutes so I get some watch time and maybe feel a slight bit of validation in my pathetic life, and yeah, just thanks, I guess.
Do you like using the two most broken weapons in the game? Do you enjoy spamming the same string over and over, making every opponent about as salty as defensive when he loses to a parry plat? Are you a fan of characters that don't live up to their names? Do you like copying Notorious's format for a good laugh and a half? Well, get ready to grind some elo and space some spam, because today Discount Dom's here to introduce you to Fourdex. Well, welcome to another Legend reveal video. I don't know if you've noticed yet, but I'm not your regular monotone host, I'm a different monotone host. My name is Switchley, and if this video is bad, first off you can blame Dom completely for the editing. He did everything himself on this one. And even if it is bad, I think it'll be funny to kill his quote-unquote fan base. So let's get right into this one. Today we're taking a look at the new character, Fourdex. So if we go to Meet the Legends, we can take a look at him in all of his pupperness. Once again, BMG lies to us. His name's Mordex, but he's only got 4 decks. Doesn't make much sense. He's got 6 strength, 4 decks. He's got 5 defense, and 7 speed. He uses the 2 worst weapons in the game. Scythe, which is too new to be patched, so it's still completely overpowered, and you're either really good with it, or you have no idea what you're doing with the weapon. And then we have gauntlets, which haven't been fixed since the day they've been released. BMG, fix it. So, we can take a look at him, and we see his skins here. We hop right into the lore, where he has 2 quotes. And to think my Order's own quartermaster, Octavius Mordex, was a stinking werewolf all along. That's Diana telling Ada the story of her betrayal, which Mordex did to her. So, if you keep up on Brawl lore, you know that Diana is a monster hunter, and Mordex is a werewolf, which is a monster, if you know already, which, why would you not know that? Don't know why she thought it would be a good idea to trust a monster. I mean, I'm sure she didn't know, but still, you're not a very good monster hunter if you can't tell what's a monster and what's not. So, the next quote is, yeah, well, she should have suspected something when she found me sleeping under her porch. That's from Mordex. I don't know what correlation this has to the lore. I'm sure it goes in somewhere. If any of you have any idea, leave a comment down below, and I'm sure Dom will pass the information on to me, as I love Brawlhalla lore. We'll go right into the lore. It is not easy to become a lycanthrope on purpose. A werewolf bite rarely works, because the bite is almost always followed by you being eaten by a werewolf. So when Octavius Mordex, Master Hunter of the Order of the Exalted Lion, was ordered to take his team into the frozen north to hunt down the plague of werewolves and frost giants, he knew he had to plan his trickery carefully. Mordex had wormed his way into the noble order, not to do good, but to get closer with the monsters whose power he so desired. He overthrew the cult of the Ice Witch, but reported their tome of rituals lost in the fire. He destroyed the Wraith of Darkmoor, but secretly took the fiend's great scythe Cull for himself. And now he saw this chance to gain power of a whole new sort. So what we see here is Mordex was taking things that they had gained in raids on different monsters and using them to make himself stronger, which is a pretty cool idea for a character. A year later, Mordex returned from the north with a tale of horror and victory. Trapped in an unholy ice storm, his team surrounded by werewolves and giants, He told a tale of starvation, desperation, and heroic battle. He was the only survivor. No one questioned that Mordex himself seemed quite well fed. Acclaim and promotion soon followed. Soon, only the vigilance of another hunter, Diana, stood between him and his ultimate target, Geminus Varens, a cursed artifact hidden in the deepest vaults of the Order. Calling on dark magic, he ambushed Diana and escaped with his prize. In Brawlhalla, Mordex is horrified and delighted to find the monster in his true form. Valhalla forms strange alliances, and Mordex finds himself in accord with the likes of Thatch, Azoth, much to the fury of his nemesis. So, he can't be that bad. I mean, he's hanging out with 1, my main, and 2, Senor Style Points himself. So, I don't know how he can be such a bad character. See what I just said there? Yeah. I have no idea what I'm getting into yet. Okay, so let's go take a look at his different skins. He has 3 skins that were released for him. If we hop into training mode, we can go take a look at Mordex. We see his skins: Northwind, Iron Legion, Celestial, and of course Classic. So his colors are blue, yellow, green, brown, purple, orange, cyan, sunset, gray, pink, red, white, black, Skyforge, back to Classic. Next skin, Northwind, blue, yellow, green, brown, purple, orange, cyan, sunset, gray, pink, red, white, black, Skyforged, and back to Classic. Next skin, Iron Legion, which goes along with Taros's Iron Legion skin. Seems like they're continuing this line of character skins. We can see that his colors are blue, yellow, green, brown, purple, orange, cyan, sunset, gray, pink, red, white, black, Skyforged, and back to Classic. Finally, Celestial Mordex, which goes along with Celestial Ragnar, continuing of another legend, skin lineup. We can go back over to Celestial and see that the colors are blue, yellow, green, brown, purple, orange, cyan, sunset, gray, pink, red, white, black, Skyforged, and back to Classic. So I'm going to go back to regular Mordex right here, and we'll take a look at some of his combos that we can do so far, which I've seemed to have a few that we might be able to pull off. Okay, we're in training mode now, and you can see I have turned on hitboxes and hurt boxes, as well as damage, so we can see how much damage Mordex is really doing, and we can find out the true character of this character. So far, I've taken a look at some of his stuff, and he has some pretty cool SIGs. Side SIG sort of jumps up in the air, which can pick up and hit like that. We have his down SIG, which sort of howls and then he rolls and throws him up in the air, which can be really good for strings or even in 2v2s. We have his neutral, which is sort of hard to pull off when you're attacking people, so I'll do that with the string later. Actually, I might be able to pull it off now. No, I sort of want to just show off his damage. Let's see if I can get this off. No? Well, that threw him up in the air. So we have that. And we can take a look at his scythe. What I've noticed is all of his SIGs follow this theme of him being trapped in the snow. So his down SIG, he sort of jumps back and jumps forward. Neutral, he grabs up, sort of similar to a lot of Scythe's neutral SIGs. Side, he sort of sends a barrage of ice. And then we can take a look at some of his combos, which I believe I have 2 ready. We can take a look at a downlight on Scythe to a neutral SIG, which is pretty cool to be honest. Then we can take a look at his gauntlets, which for gauntlets we can do a downlight to a down SIG, which sort of throws him up in the air, good for 2v2s and more stringing capabilities. So I've noticed that Mordex can be sort of a true team player, which makes me sort of like him a little bit more, as I do 2v2s quite often, and I think it would be really fun to have a Mordex player on the team. So that about wraps up his character overview. So let's go take a look at the rest of his abilities. So that about wraps up this Legend review. Still hate Fourdex, and I hate that I'll have to deal with people playing him until the next Legend release. But what can you expect? It's BMG, and probably get nerfed within the next week anyway. So I'd like to thank Dom for having me, and if you want to see more from me, I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays on beam.pro/Swixley. Link is in the description, and as always, stay frosty. Wow, that outro sucks.